Hi guys, welcome to C2C Mentor, and today's topic is going to be really important. It is because a lot of calls I've been getting, students been asking me, sir, I have not done a job. मेरा graduation हो गया, I did not opt for a job, मेरे पास full time job नहीं है, अभी CAT के forms out हो चुके हैं, and I really don't have anything to fill in there, right? So that's number one. Second thing is that how do you build your profile? Because if you don't have a work ex, right, then it's going to hamper your profile a bit, not on a very high scale. Now, that is something I want to cover in this video, is that whether you should go for 1 year ka job if you have the opportunity, or whether you should be opting for chota internships or projects. Now let's understand this. Let's go step by step. Let's say you're working as a full-time job, you're working with the IT company, or you're working with the bank, or any company out there. Now understand this. In this video, whatever I'm going to talk to you guys, or whatever I'm going to suggest you, I'm only looking at top 20 B school in the country. I'm not going beyond that, because what matters for top 20, that is what I really want to talk to you. And looking at the current corporate world and looking at the current scenario, what B schools are actually keen as far as the candidature of yours is concerned. So that's what is going to be my focus. Number one, if you're working somewhere, let's say 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, I always say that the quantity of workings does not matter. What matters is the quality. So if you're an engineer working in the domain of IT, working as an IT support, or a business analyst, or let's say, client support, or let's say, coding and all that, I think these are the profiles which, people do get it. These are like normal, obvious profiles that you might get, or rather you will get short, once you're done with your engineering. That's number one. Number two, let's say you're a BCom guy, like CA, IPCC and all that. You have done the, the articleship, under one of the CA, or, you have worked with the bank in the sales department, or, chota mota job you have done. Again, these are the obvious profiles. So when you tell me that, I've done my engineering and I was working with XYZ company in the IT support, that's not going to really help me out, understand your profile, or that is not good enough to, impress me as a panelist, right? So that's number one, which is something called as monotonous. Like you did your engineering, these are the obvious job you got into, you worked for 1 or 2 years and done internship. The only advantage that I see that you get from the CAT perspective is that you get to write some number of months as you're working. So you get to write like 12 months plus. So if you have 12 months plus, yes, you get some mark, 1 mark, 2 marks, so on and so forth, right? Again, that depends on 31st July 2019, because that's what the CAT criteria is all about. Now let's say you are not somebody who did actually go for the full-time job, because you wanted to focus more on CAT, ZAT, more on the preparation. So you said that if I go for a full-time job, then it's not gonna really help me out. Or let's say you're somebody who did work for 1 or 2 years and now taking a gap because you are not getting sufficient enough time to actually prepare for yourself. Now, the point is, always remember, when you go for VAT and PI, right, the point is not the work ex, or the point is not the brand that you've worked with. The point is, what did you learn? What are the things that you were exposed to? What did you do exactly in those 6 months, 7 months, 12 months, or 20, 24, 36 months? That's what matters a lot. Because as a B school, I'm trying to understand the job that you have done, or the projects that you have done, or the exposure that you had. Did you manage to learn something that has a sync with the management domain? It can be anything: marketing, strategy, HR, IB, finance, anything. That's what I'm more keen on understanding. If it's not there, if it's absent, nothing wrong as such, but again, it's not that great also. That's the reason the best funda in today's era is, if you're not going for full-time job, then you do internship. Now when you do an internship, I will not tell you that do an internship at a stretch for 6 months, 8 months. People do that. That's again not correct, because again you're getting into that monotonous kind of a zone. Now the funda is, in the theory is, or the strategy is, give yourself 2 months. So let's say you are going for an internship, you work for 2 months in banking, then you work for 2 months in sales, then you work for 2 months in IT, then you work with a startup, let's say some startup in the food industry, or let's say some startup in the technology domain, right, for 2 months. So somebody is there who has done, let's say 12 months ka job with IT company. And now I have another candidate sitting right in front of me who has done 4 different jobs, including like 2 to 2 months, or let's say 2.5 or 3 months in 3 different industries, or 3 different domains, or 3 different industries. I think this guy has quite a lot to tell me, or this guy has learned quite a lot than the guy who has done 1 year, 2 years ka full-time job. Because you being an intern, in all the companies you will be studying, or you will be learning a lot of stuff. You will be working from front to end. So the exposure that you got, the learnings that you had, the hardships that you had are more than the guy who was in the IT company or who was in the bank and all that. So my focus is learning, understanding, exposure, and zeal to learn. That's what I want to understand in the candidate. So you might be getting interviewed by IMABC, or you might be getting interviewed by ISB, KIL, SP Gens, NM, all that stuff. These things work smoothly. Again, it's not monotonous. Like, let's say I've done a 1-year job, right? Then probably that guy can say that, I was working with this company, my job was like tuck, tuck, tuck. And we all know that, in the big brands, the things are quite standardized. It's an SOP, standard operating procedure. You just have to follow that, get the things done. But when you work with the different industries, you get to learn a lot. That's called as exposure. And that's where you can say that. So they might ask you, okay, fine. So you're not clear with your thoughts, You have done 2 months in banking, you have done 2 months in sales, you have done 2 months in food industry, you have done 2 months in, let's say, automobile, or let's say, whatever, like, mobile company and all that. You're not clear with that. The counter attack to this always will be, sir, definitely I'm not clear with that, because my main focus, my whole and sole purpose is doing an MBA. But before getting into an MBA, I wanted to kind of test myself. I wanted to check myself, where I can be a good fit. So I went for banking, I loved it. I went for sales, I liked it because that kept me on my toes all the time. And so that's the reason I've seen 4 different industries. Because you now know much more than what the person has done in one industry only. This is what top 20 B schools are looking at. This is what the companies are now looking at, because I want to hire somebody, I want to take somebody as a student in my B school who knows a bit more than other people. That's number 1. Number 2, who can think out of the box. Number 3, who has more exposure and has not done anything on a monotonous level. So that's the reason doing internship, chota internship, 2 months, 2.5 months, 3 months, 4 months, helps a lot. So rather than making your profile in a quantity way, try to make your profile in quality way. They would love to see candidates with such a different exposure and having a clear-cut understanding that this guy did take efforts. He wants to do an MBA, probably marketing finance, but he actually took efforts to go there, get the internship done, gets his hand dirty, learned a lot, learned the hard way, more respect. And that's the reason, though you don't get that 1 or 2 marks in the application form, but the moment you sit right in front of them and when you explain them, that helps them to kind of upscale you or give you a couple of more marks in PI. And trust me, take all top 20-25 B schools in the country, the PI weightage is more than WorkX, CAT, everything. So if you are somebody who's still struggling and feels demotivated and dissatisfied, saying that I don't have WorkX, don't worry, you can go for all these things and still you can improve your profile. So that's 2 cents from my side as far as profile building is concerned. So try to focus on quality, learning, exposure, understanding, than focusing on quantity. So that's it from my side, guys. I'll be uploading a couple of more videos on the profile building and on the same stuff. So stay tuned to the channel. Thank you so much.